Every day I'm angry. I'm left shouting at the inside of my own head everything I wish I could say to you.
I hope most of you are doing very well. There is one person out there that perhaps we're not hoping is doing that well. And that's you, Bryan. Bryan Kohberger. You've admitted, you've confessed to the murders of the 4 out in Idaho. In the case of the Idaho 4. I'm gonna take it that it is all kosher, it's all true, you've confessed and you did commit the murders. There are some people out there are probably thinking that he's making that up and he didn't commit the murders. But we'll go on that you've confessed. The mind of Bryan Kohberger. If you want to discuss and if you want a profile of Bryan, then I'll give you one of those. So grab that drink. If you are listening and not watching and driving, please use hands-free. Bryan wasn't a great driver, was he? He was stopped. We've got some videos to show you as well. But step on in. And welcome to Aldon's Reviews and True Crime. So Bryan, if you are watching in prison and you're eating those cookies, let's go through what you did. So in Idaho, you killed 3 girls and 1 boy. You killed 2 in one bedroom and then you went to the other bedroom and killed the other 2 with a knife, the K-bar knife. It's a precision made tool, shall we say, and it's designed to do certain things, but to carry out murders in cold blood, I don't think it really is designed to do that. The mind does that. So whatever tool you used, it was your mind that did that for you, wasn't it? Really, it regardless of the tool. I think if that tool wasn't invented, you'd use another tool. So what was going through your mind, Bryan, at 4 a.m. 2022? Why did this case carry on so long? You had a plea bargain, you made a plea bargain where you didn't want to face the death penalty, which is operating in that state that you're going to be tried in, so you did a plea bargain that you wanted to still live. Now I don't know why you would want to live, really. He was said to be intelligent. That's pretty subjective, isn't it, intelligent? Academically? So you've mastered in criminal law and you became a teaching assistant within the criminal law classroom as well, which I think you were ousted from because you were seen to be as a bit inappropriate. You said inappropriate things. What's going on in a mind like yours when you were sentenced? Now, there's a video here of the family that are trying to come to terms with what you did, and they're trying to portray to you the suffering that they feel. So we're going to watch a video. Now, what you're feeling, what Bryan is feeling, what you're feeling is kind of nothingness, really. You've got that vacant look. Now, you've always had that vacant look anyway. Not blinking too many times. Sort of glaring and staring, not showing emotion. You kind of feel that you know that it's right to to show emotion within this case, but you didn't show any. You're just staring, dumbfounded, in a way, kind of. When it was mentioned about the murders that you committed, you get excited, and you kind of relive it. You kind of clench your teeth, and when the murders are mentioned, you kind of think, yeah, I did that. I wanted to do that. I can relive the emotion of doing that. And it's kind of a joy for you to hear what you did. You like to create that suffering. Motive or reason? Reason could be that you were kind of bullied by people when you were growing up, especially, so we say, females of a certain type, a certain look perhaps, pretty females. You were ridiculed by them quite a bit. They took the mickey out of perhaps your what was seen to be weirdness, inappropriate comments, and you didn't like that. Maybe it was a revenge attack, and they were pinpointed, those particular ladies. Whether the man was, the guy was pinpointed, I don't know, but yeah, that's why you chose those. I think that's why you chose those particular girls. So with the lack of emotion, when the family were trying to get through to you in the courtroom and the judge, I think you were wanting to show emotion, but you're incapable of it. You can't show empathy, but you kind of know that you should, but you just can't. It's not something there, it's not there. You can't do it. You feel important, that you carried out the suffering, carried out the crime, the killing. It's almost you're enjoying playing this role of the killer.
I've always been the one to fight the battles they didn't feel ready to fight themselves. All it ever took was a call, and they knew I would handle it for them, no matter the time, no matter the cost. They could wave their white flag because they knew I would never back down, not for them, and not even death could change that. Somewhere along the line, I started to think about what I would say to them if I was given just one last chance. If I could gather enough heartbreak or love or sacrifice or whatever it took to get just one message across. What would I say? Throughout this entire process, I've written my feelings down at every moment, my wishes, my love, my denial, my anger. And as one final act of love, I'd planned to read these thoughts, even jarring and discombobulating and not even making sense. Because for me, that was true love. As bare and as naked as it could be, not laced in pretty words or dressed for the occasion, but written through bleary eyes at 2 a.m. with clenched fists, angry at this reality. My true final act of love was to continue on without them, for them. That dream to read aloud my love to them, to bring meaning through pain, was the latest blow in realizing you don't deserve it. And Kaylee and Maddie don't need it. Kaylee and Maddie have always known my love, and they would never ask me to prove it by further victimizing myself to a defendant who has shown no guilt, no remorse, no apprehension. They would say to me, "Why would you give the satisfaction of showing vulnerability now? You promised you would never back down." And for that clarity, I'm thankful. I won't stand here and give you what you want. I won't offer you tears. I won't offer you trembling. Disappointments like you thrive on pain, on fear, and on the illusion of power. And I won't feed your beast. Instead, I will call you what you are. sociopath, psychopath, murderer. I will ask the questions that reverberate violently in my own head, so loudly that I can't think straight most any day. Some of these might be familiar, so sit up straight when I talk to you. How was your life right before you murdered my sisters? Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your apartment? Please detail what you were thinking and feeling at this time. Why did you choose my sisters? Before making your move, did you approach my sisters? Detail what you were thinking and feeling. Before leaving their home, is there anything else you did? How does it feel to know the only thing you failed more miserably at than being a murderer is trying to be a rapper? Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows? Why November 13th? Did you truly think your Amazon purchase was untraceable because you used a gift card? How do you find it enjoyable to stargaze with such a severe case of visual snow? Where is the murder weapon? The clothes you wore that night? What did you bring into the house with you? What was the second weapon you used on Kaylee? What were Kaylee's last words? Please describe in detail the level of anxiety you must have felt when you heard the Bearcat pull up to your family home on December 30th, 2022. Which do you regret more? Returning to the crime scene 5 hours later, or never, ever going back to Moscow, not even once, after stalking them there for months? If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now? What's it like needing this much attention just to feel real? You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you? Do you feel anything at all? Or are you exactly what you always feared? Nothing. If you're so powerful, then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me. But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You didn't create devastation. You revealed it in yourself. And that darkness you carry, that emptiness, you'll sit with it long after this is over. That is your sentence. And it was written on the wall long before you ever pled guilty. You didn't win. You just exposed yourself as the coward you are. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else. Constantly scolding, turning your nose up to grammar mistakes, nitpicking and criticizing others. You wanted so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin. Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light. You thought you were exceptional, all because of a grade on a paper. You thought you were elite because your online IQ test from 2010 told you so. All of that effort just to seem important. It's desperate. There is a name for your condition, though. Your inflated ego just didn't allow you to see it. Wannabe. You act like no one could ever understand your mind, but the truth is you're basic. You're a textbook case of insecurity disguised as control. Your patterns are predictable. Your motives are shallow. You are not profound. You're pathetic. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional. Don't ever get it twisted again. No one is scared of you today. No one is intimidated by you. No one is impressed by you. No one thinks that you are important. You orchestrated this like you thought you were God. Now look at you, begging a courtroom for scraps. You spent months preparing, and still all it took was my sister in a sheath. You work so hard to seem dangerous, but real control doesn't have to prove itself. The truth is, the scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your ass. Thank you.
So, when people talk about it, you get a thrill, a chill going down your spine that excites you. And that was shown in the body language when the judge initially read out the crimes. Very excited and then motionless. You didn't want to make a statement after you were sentenced. You didn't want to say anything. Now somebody with empathy or sympathy would have simply said, "Oh, I'm sorry, what I did, I didn't know what I was doing. I can't make amends, blah, blah, blah." But you said respectfully you didn't want to make a statement. Makes things worse, but at least you didn't come out with anything, can I say, angrily or inappropriately at that time. And when a member of the family kind of put you down, said you weren't important, you didn't seem to like that. You wanted some importance, even if it was on the, shall we say, the evil side. You can't be sorry in this case. But you can be sorry all your life. You're probably customer service focused and you can say sorry about certain other things and probably mean them, but in this instance you can't. The family wanted to do certain things to you. Maybe if they'd have carried those out, they're in a room alone with you, perhaps that would have been wrong and that might have made them seem, could we say, almost as bad. But is revenge bad if it's on the side of goodness? Can we treat these certain types, can we bundle them into sections of the types of killer, the serial killer, the motive killer? Are they different? Or is a killer just a killer? What makes killing okay? When there's a loss and a bereavement, you just cope with it. Can't get rid of it, but you will get through. And that's what it's all about. Positivity, about stopping this type of thing happening in the future. Thank you for watching, liking and subscribing, and above all, just take care of yourselves if you can. We are all vulnerable, aren't we, really? When you go to bed, lay your head down and try to sleep and don't have any nasty dreams. Thank you for watching.
I will not attempt to speak about him further, other than to simply sentence him so that he is forever removed from civilized society.